Good afternoon, everybody. I am Shalaurey from Small Town Bruins Committee and from the First Year Experience Office. I just want to welcome everyone. This is our May drop-in hour, making the most of your summer at home. We have special guests from both the Volunteer Center and the Career Center and DashU, as always, to be able to welcome folks and to be able to give a little bit of a snapshot of how you can better have that time at home in this remote environment. One thing that I want to take a step back and say is that UCLA does exist on Tonga land. So we always want to honor that in the beginning of our programs, anything that occurs on our campus. What I will start with is just brief introductions. As I said, I'm Shalaurey Jones. I work with the First Year Experience Office. And then I also chair the Small Town Bruins Committee with Mike McCormick. And then I'll popcorn to Helen if you just want to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Helen Martinez. I work over at the DashU Center as an exchange visitor advisor, and I'm happy to be here. So welcome.
Thank you. And then, oh, Precious, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Precious Robinson. I am the counseling manager for graduate and professional school planning at the UCLA Career Center. Happy to join you today.
Thank you so much for being here with us. And then Jeffrey.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Huang, and I'm the program coordinator for the UCLA Volunteer Center. I'm happy to be here as well.
Thank you so much. So I'll give you all a little bit for folks that aren't as familiar with Small Town Bruin. So we started actually right as the pandemic started. So March 2020, based on a needs-based survey for all of our students saying that they wanted more of a sense of community, advocacy, struggle with a little bit of culture shock as coming from small towns or rural areas and transitioning to UCLA. So we've tried to create a community of support to be able to help our small town Bruins or Bruins from rural areas to be able to onboard to UCLA, get better access to Wi-Fi's or MiFi's, and a little bit of advocacy and just transition support as FYE traditionally does. That has been our purpose. And then for me, my previous work experiences at University of Illinois, internships in small areas, specifically in rural towns. So this particular event, as I said, we do our monthly drop-in hours. This is our last and final one. And some of our seniors had asked for what were some great ways for them to be able to spend the summer. Who are some folks that they could possibly network with? How to do so? How to get connected? To whether it be internships or whether it be volunteer experiences, as well as even our alumni center. So we hope to be able to share just some quick tips and tricks with folks for the summer and resources. And I'll actually pass the mic to Jeffrey to kick us off with some updates from the volunteer center.
Thank you, Shalaurey. So I just wanted to maybe provide just a little background information on what the UCLA Volunteer Center does, just some upcoming opportunities that we might have, just kind of basically what's been going on the past year and a half. So for us, we were housed under Alumni Affairs previously, but moved over to Student Affairs. And with that kind of transition to Student Affairs, we've had like a big emphasis on just how can we support UCLA students more, UCLA service-oriented student groups more, and just placing a bigger emphasis on the students. So just some volunteering opportunities that maybe students might find useful is, so we do typically have like a database of volunteer opportunities that are just going around Los Angeles on our volunteer center site. However, we are kind of undergoing some changes with our site. So we are preparing to unveil a new site, hopefully in the next few weeks. So once that new site is unveiled, all students and just all UCLA community members will be able to go to our database of volunteer opportunities and just kind of find maybe some opportunities that they might want to do on like a Saturday morning somewhere in Los Angeles. However, in the meantime, just some resources online where you can find maybe some volunteer opportunities that might be in your city or your neighborhood where you currently are is one is volunteermatch.org. And then if you go to that site, it's kind of just like a national database in terms of volunteer opportunities that are happening all over the nation. And you can just kind of type in the city that you're currently in and just find any opportunities that you might find interesting. Another potential site is idealist.org. So it's just idealist.org. And similar to volunteermatch.org, it just kind of matches you based on where your location is and just upcoming opportunities as well. And if you happen to be in the Los Angeles area, laworks.com is also just a great resource to find any upcoming volunteer opportunities. So just kind of due to COVID, like the Volunteer Center, along with just most nonprofit organizations, it has been kind of tough in the past year to do these types of volunteering programs. Like a lot of organizations kind of just had to cut out programs that they typically would do and just trying to revamp and kind of rework their goals and their mission to just provide maybe like a virtual way of providing service to the people that they typically serve. So it has been kind of a challenge because like volunteerism at the end of the day happens to be like a lot of it is primarily just coming together with a group of people and just actually getting to like the physical work of doing something. So it has been kind of tough for just everybody involved with this, but hopefully it seems like a lot of organizations are opening back up. So I think there should be more opportunities if you kind of are interested in going that way. And something else that I also wanted to talk about was UCLA Volunteer Day. So that's kind of our biggest program of the year, and it's an annual day of service where we will typically visit around maybe 60 to 70 different nonprofit organizations on that one Saturday morning. And then we'll send buses full of UCLA students, UCLA community members, staff, faculty to all these different nonprofit organizations around Los Angeles. So that for this upcoming fall is currently scheduled to be on Saturday, September 25th. So kind of as the summer months come by and you just kind of get more information on coming back to campus and going back to UCLA, you'll definitely hear just more information about that. And then basically it used to be kind of a program where we would just send students based on what floor they are currently on in the dorms, just like going together with their RA to like a certain site, but we kind of changed it a little bit. So for this year, we'll have a registration site which lists all of the organizations that we'll be going to on that one day. And students and UCLA community members can simply just go check out all the different opportunities that we'll have on that day and just sign up for the one that they kind of are just most interested in. So we are planning for a full in-person volunteer day for this fall. So hopefully as just kind of developments with COVID-19 just get better as the summer months come by, we will be able to just accommodate more and more people as the date gets closer. And for last year, for Volunteer Day 2020, we had to do it just like a completely virtual format. So for that, we also kind of had to just revamp and rework how we typically do a Volunteer Day. So with that, we kind of just had different educational sessions / panels with professionals that focus on these special kind of topics that we found relevant during that time. So we had like a panel on Black Lives Matter, how to effectively protest, just the impact of COVID-19 in our minority communities, and just voter registration and suppression. And we also just had individual Zoom sessions with the organizations that we would typically visit in a regular volunteer day. So it was kind of a little challenging, different process for sure. But yeah, but hopefully this year we will be able to go back to kind of just our whole just 100% in-person event for Volunteer Day. So definitely just be on the lookout for that. And it's just a good way for you to get acclimated to the campus, maybe meet new friends, meet new people, and it's just a good day for everybody to get involved. And the last thing I kind of wanted to talk about is I touched upon just the new website that we are unveiling. So hopefully it will be available to everybody in the next few weeks, upcoming weeks. So with that, like I said, we wanted to place a bigger emphasis on supporting students and student groups on campus with a volunteer center. So with our new website, we'll have a totally new volunteer center database where you can access just all the different volunteer opportunities that are going around Los Angeles. And these kind of are just submissions from not UCLA entities, but just outside entities, just anywhere around Los Angeles that has these opportunities. And then also with that site, we'll also just provide resources on how students can get involved with service with an organization such as CSC, or just maybe a sole organization or something like that if you're interested. And then also something else that we will be unveiling with our website is just providing more resources and guidance to service-oriented student groups on campus that might need help with certain aspects, such as maybe transportation to a certain site for an event that they might be holding, maybe some insurance risk management help that they might need for a certain event. So yeah, so our goal now that we are housed under student affairs is to just place a bigger emphasis on students and student groups, and just figuring out how we as a volunteer center can best assist these service groups in their nonprofit work. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. I wanted to ask if you could say one more time the websites that you referenced. I think it was volunteermatch.org.
Yes, so 3 websites that I kind of mentioned at the beginning. The first one is volunteermatch.org. Mm-hmm. Second one is idealist.org. And then those are kind of more national databases for kind of just that will be representative of your city or where you currently are right now. And then something that would help with just events that are happening around Los Angeles would be laworks.com. So they do a lot of work with nonprofit organizations and just help promote these opportunities.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll make sure that I add those to the notes for folks as well. And I believe some of them are also in the chat. Next, we actually have Precious Robinson from the Career Center with some tips and tricks about internships, a snapshot of what the Career Center has to offer, and a little bit of what happens post-grad with the Career Center. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you, Dr. Shalaurey. So yes, I'm going to begin with more about the Career Center, and then yes, share some things about our programs and just some things that you can work on for yourself for your own career life design. So I'm going to share a screen to talk a bit about the Career Center. We're going to have a bit of a transition here. I can take this to the very beginning. Okay, so first of all, we want people to know that the Career Center is a place where you can explore. So don't wait until your senior year, although we are there for you. If you wait until your senior year, we're there for you. Start where you are, do what you can, use what you have. That's actually a quote from Arthur Ashe. But even if you don't know what you want to do, we're there to even help you with that decision-making process. So some people may have the myth that you only go to the Career Center once you're in your final stages of planning and need to look for a job. We're there for the exploration process as well. If you're thinking about going to grad or professional school, the Career Center is there to help you with that exploration. And we also know that everybody has their own challenges, obstacles, as well as opportunities, though, and that your choices will shape your future. And we hope that we're there for you to make the most informed decision about your choices for your story and your future. What we really love to do as career counselors is to help you discover your life goals, your passions, what you're truly passionate about. So whether that's your course of study or your career, really going through that with you. So whether it's formal assessments around values, interests, skills, personality, or just through a process of looking at your story and interviewing you, we really want to know what you want to accomplish, what your passions are, and to help you reach those goals. We're also a place where you can build skills. So yes, we have, now we actually have AI, a program called VMOC that can help you with your resume, but we're there to also help you develop professional skills from resume writing, personal statements, interviewing, even things like team building. The Career Center has workshops and opportunities to help you develop those professional skills and to make meaningful connections. So even in a virtual world, we have helped students and alumni make meaningful connections with employers and with each other on their journey. So we have virtual career fairs. Some of those will be returning in person, information sessions, workshops. And we found that people are really able to even connect in that virtual space on Zoom and on other platforms. So panels from pursuing your MD to your JD to psychology and teaching, even things like, making an impact in social justice careers. So there's lots of ways to connect with each other and with employers and with recruitment officers. So we also have those in the grad and professional school space, like for law school and med school. So everyone's journey is definitely different. So we encourage you to look at your journey that way, that you're unique, and to, not compare yourself to friends and feel like you're behind, or that you have to be on a path that they're on. Everyone's journey is unique. And in fact, there's, literally thousands of career titles, and some of those are emerging every day. So the pandemic has definitely been sad and traumatic and challenging, yet there have actually been new positions, new opportunities, new technology and biology that's even coming out of those experiences. So we're here to help you on your journey. Our career counselors are formerly known as career engagement educators to help you. And we want you to know also that your major should be something that you want to study. And in some cases, a major definitely is much more related to your career. Something like engineering is going to be directly related. Sometimes a major can give you an edge, but 73% of college graduates are in a career that are unrelated to their major. But at the same time, we want you to value your major and your education and know that there's a lot of transferable skills that employers value that come from that: communication skills, teamwork, critical thinking, writing skills. We have a variety of workshops and programs coming from not only the career education and engagement team, but also from our industry relations team. So again, some of these are things you normally think about with the Career Center, like career fairs. One of the ones that I really love leading is our Black Excellence program. So it highlights Black Bruins staff models. So Black Excellence is one of those programs. We also have a Career Ready Boot Camp. We have a new program called Doors, Diversity, Optimize Opportunities, Relationships, and Success, and have had programs like self-advocacy, negotiating salary, and more. I've already mentioned our career fairs, which also include internship fairs. Handshake is the main platform that we use at the Career Center. Is where you can find job and internship listings, even fellowships, even on-campus and work-study jobs are found on Handshake. Of course, work-study jobs also through financial aid and networking, but we definitely encourage our partners on campus to list on Handshake. The representative from the Volunteer Center also gave some great websites for finding jobs and opportunities like Idealist. So you definitely still want to use some of those other websites, but joinhandshake.com, ucla.joinhandshake.com is a great place, because those employers are specifically looking for Bruins and reaching out to Bruins. So we definitely want you to complete your profile. This is an example. There are recruiters that actually reach out to students based on their profile, and that's more likely to happen if your profile is completely done, that you have your opportunities, your experiences there, and that you make it public for employers to view. So yes, please remember to complete your profile on ucla.joinhandshake.com. Everybody's already downloaded in there. You just need to go in there and complete that. And please find us virtually, many opportunities at career.ucla.edu. And so that's the basic overview. If I still have more time, I can also quickly share our website and a couple of opportunities as well.
Please do. Thank you.
Okay, great. So let me just share my screen for that. So I've already talked about Handshake. We also have virtual drop-in services that happen Tuesdays through Thursdays, 10 to 2. One-on-one appointments that you schedule online also via Handshake. In addition, we encourage you to use LinkedIn. So UCLA is in the top 3, if not the top university, with alumni and students on Handshake. It's a great place to connect with Bruins on Handshake. Also encourage you to complete your profile on Handshake and to connect with Bruins. It's a great way to connect with UCLA alumni for informational interviews. So informational interviews is just a great way to find out how someone got into their career, or how they succeeded within their career. So it's not a way to get like a trick real interview or anything like that, but really to be genuine and authentic if you really want to learn about a person and their position or their career pathway. And so you can do that. Just make yourself an introduction as a fellow Bruin, go on LinkedIn. There's also a platform that's similar to LinkedIn, but very, very specifically for UCLA, and that's UCLA1.com. So UCLAONE.com is also an awesome platform. Parker Dewey is a relatively new platform, and you can get paid micro internships. So let's say you're just getting into a field, you don't want to, commit your whole summer or whole quarter, or maybe you have a very challenging, quarter, like you're a student athlete or involved in something else, and you just want a micro internship that's maybe a week long or a month long. Parker Dewey is a great resource that you can get through on Handshake. Another resource that I don't see on this page is Forage. Forage is similar to Parker Dewey, but it's not competitive in the sense that anyone can do it, but it's also unpaid. But there's hundreds of opportunities on there to try out something, to build a skill, and to also get feedback from employers or recruiters. So there's things on there from law firms, engineering, consulting, the range. I think almost anything you can think of, there's an experience on Forage that you can do and try out the project to see if it's something you like and get some feedback. VMOC, I referenced prior, 24/7 feedback on your resume. You can still come to us to drop in, but it's a great platform to get some excellent feedback on your resume. We also have a huge library that's growing by the day. So just like we're recording this great workshop for you now, we have 50 plus and counting workshops on demand on our YouTube channel, including different panels. And of course, we have professional school planning from pre-health, pre-law, MBA, and more. We also, of course, do have alumni services, so I understand that that's one of the questions. So we may be extending the service after graduation, but for now, as an alum, you have 3 months after graduation to be at the Career Center or use the services as though you were a full-time student, 3 months, and then you have a year to access career fairs and Handshake. Then beyond that sort of grace period, Handshake for alumni is that you can subscribe to Handshake for $30 for 6 months. And you can do that at any time. You can do it for 6 months and then not do anything for 3 years and then come back for 6 months, however you want to use that, or you can do it six months, back to back. So right now, that is how we're working with alumni and recent grads. And then also a couple of years old, the UCLA Alumni Association also has different services and someone specifically to work with alumni in the career area. And they also collaborate with us as well. So yeah, so that covers many of our services, but again, there's so many more topics, many more services or things that students come in. So if in doubt, I say check out our website or come to our drop-in, our virtual front desk for more information. So thank you for that. I'm so happy to be included in this session.
Thank you for your willingness. And really quick, the website is career.
Yes, career.ucla.edu.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you gave us a perfect segue into alumni. So I want to share my screen to get folks connected to the Central Valley Network. Let me try here. Can you all see my screen with the Central Valley Network?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so for our current Bruins are soon to graduate, if you're from the Central Valley area, this is actually how. Let me move this up a little bit so you can see it better. This is from the UCLA Alumni Affairs Office, and you can get connected to this particular network through the email address centralvalley@alumni.ucla.edu. They actually are partnering with us, with FYE, and the Common Experience Office to do a watch party of the Common Experience selection for this year, which is BoJack Horseman, a dark comedy, but it is hilarious, that explores various levels of your identity, being first gen, being from a rural area, really overcoming and transitioning your life and reinventing yourself, and mental health as well. So they'll be going over the Amelia Earhart story, which is a great episode, where Princess Carolina actually goes home to her small town and talks about, being a parent and what those experiences have been like for her, her relationship with BoJack, so on and so forth. And we will be there to open up this particular chat with our alumni, and then to be able to discuss and explore some aspects of identity as well. So this is a combination between Small Town Bruins, Central Valley Alumni Association, as well as Small Town Bruins as a committee coming together. So I just want to say thank you everyone for being here this afternoon, and for folks that will watch and join us in the future. I don't know if anyone had any final words or any final tips that they wanted to share. I know this year has been very challenging for all of us, but any tips for our students, any words of encouragement, anything at all?
I would just say always remember, self-care, to take time for yourself. We know that UCLA students tend to be high achievers and going hard, but take that time for yourself, whatever it is that fills you with joy. Photography, yoga, you know, deep breathing. Take that time for yourself. And again, as I said in the presentation, avoid comparing your journey or yourself to others, right? And know that not everybody has a linear path when it comes to their career and education. Give yourself that time to explore. And in career counseling, we also call it plan happenstance. So yes, you want to have some plans, but have some flexibility within that. So go Bruins.
Thank you so much, everyone, and just have a great evening. Appreciate y'all all for being here.